What's up, guys? Welcome to another Friday and another virtual happy hour. This is our 15th virtual happy hour. Pretty wild. Been doing this for over 15 weeks now because we took a 2-week break because we all decided to do a quarantine because we had a little bit of a scare. But we're all healthy now. We're all back at it. So, thanks for being here. And so today it's me and Clover behind the camera. Say hello, Clover.
Hey, guys.
All right. And so we don't necessarily have a theme. My mom actually does all the handwriting on the chalkboard. I don't know if you can see it. I didn't get her to do it, so I just wrote hot on there because it's hot outside. But clouds rolling in, thunder was clapping earlier. It actually feels wonderful outside. But so we're just going to use this episode to really dive into just drinks that I think would be great on anybody's list for their home bar and in your mental rolodex, and just things to help you stay cool and refreshed throughout these hotter months, because we are at the end of July almost, and August is obviously notorious down here in Texas. It's weird, you always think July is the hottest month, but everybody in Texas fears August. Isn't that yeah, I do.
That's the hottest point, I think.
I fear August because it's so damn hot, but at the same time, I used to love being cold when I was a kid. I used to love cold weather. And now, when I'm older, I'm like, I can't stand cold weather, especially in Texas, because we don't have snow. It's just slush and gray skies and just nothing you can really do. And then when you have to put on an entire freaking regalia just to go to work. And so summer is just put on a shirt and shorts and go, and shoes and underwear and a bandana and a hat. I guess you have to put on a few things during the summertime too. Forgive me. Used to be you could barely find me in any clothes. Well, shorts. So let's get into it. So I figured we start off with a classic at the Hardwood, something that everybody that had our regulars and the local crowd are absolutely familiar with. A drink that we got, I believe it was created in New York at Attaboy. It's called a whiskey freezer. And we're going to do that. We kind of play with the ratios. It's essentially a Tom Collins ratio, but with whiskey. And that's what we're going to do first. Again, nice, refreshing, great, and easy. So you need a shaker for this one. Start off with our pure cane sugar. We're going to do 1/2 ounce. Pure cane sugar is going to have a little bit more terroir, some more depth and flavor. It's a little bit more gritty on the palate. So you don't need. It's only a 1-to-1 ratio of pure cane sugar to water, but you still want to tame it down. Not the classic 3/4 ounce that we typically do with white refined sugar, meaning because it's just more. It's more robust, so it has the opportunity to take over more of the drink. And again, we want this to be crisp and refreshing. Got some ice from our local, I can't even say convenience store. It's a freaking fast food joint. McDonald's, perfect for shaking. Oh, might need to put everything else in there. I'm still getting used to being back in action. Freshly squeezed lime juice. Got the ice chilling. Getting that tin nice and cold. We're going to do 3/4 ounce freshly squeezed lime juice. Haven't said it in a while, so you always, when you do juices, you want to juice and then double strain if possible, like a baking sieve, and then through a fine mesh strainer like this. That way you're getting all seeds and pulp out of the way, creating and having as much control over your cocktail as possible, especially in terms of mouthfeel. So from there, we're going to go ahead and use whiskey. I decided to do our house selection at the Hardwood is Old Bardstown. From the Willet Distillery out of Kentucky, one of the small distilleries, but most respected. They make everything on site, which seems to be a rarity down in Kentucky. But anyways, we're just going to do 1 ounce of this. And from here, we're actually going to use one of my favorite bottles. I love Bardstown, but this one, we're going to use Johnny Drum. And the Johnny Drum is going to be the 101. This is the private stock. So that's 50.5 alcohol by volume, so 101 proof. So essentially the same as Wild Turkey 101. This is going to have tremendous amount of depth. This is actually from the Willet Distillery as well, that I just aforementioned. They put a lot of pride into their products. This is a wonderful expression of whiskey. Clover and I were just talking about the rules of whiskey. Everybody that's been to the hardwood knows how proud we are of our whiskey selection. We put a lot of effort into making the right choices to pass on to you. And when it comes to making a bourbon, the rules that should be followed are going to be, it has to be harvested. All the grains need to be harvested and distilled within the same growing season. It has to be aged in brand new American charred oak barrels for the minimum of 4 years, and they should be blended with the same rules. That's why we like to use a lot of bonded bourbons. That's why our house selection is Old Granddad bonded when it comes to making like our house old fashioned things like that, because it's promised by the federal government to be what they say it is. So this is definitely this is not a bonded bourbon, because it can't be a bonded bourbon because it's 1%. It's 0.5% higher than what is allowed to be a bonded bourbon. Bonded bourbons can be no higher, no lower than 100 proof. This is 101. So a little bit goes a long way. Put an ounce of the Bardstown. I'm gonna just put half an ounce, which is probably still a little bit too much, but I like my cocktails to be a little bit on the hot side. Get that right there. All right, now ice already in the shaker. Yeah, it's super cold. It's not even didn't even melt away. All right, we're gonna do a hard shake. We're gonna do a 3-point of contact shake because we're gonna aerate and get it as cold as possible. We're gonna do this. This ice is pretty cold and it's kind of cool outside. It's probably gonna do about 10 seconds. Shake like nobody's watching. Do not. A lot of people get intimidated by the shake. Who cares? You want to have the best drink possible, even at home. Shake the hell out of it. Chloe, go grab a straw or a couple of straws.
Yes, sir.
They're right in the back, paper straws. All right, and so we're going to take this. We're just going to dump it all. You know what? Let's do something a little different. We're going to put some fresh ice in here. Nah, we're going to drink through a straw, so it doesn't matter. The reason I would put fresh ice in there. The reason I would put fresh ice in there is simply to control the dilution. So those shards that are actually in there, they're going to melt away quickly. But I decided to use a highball glass instead of our big Collins glass. And reason for doing that is, I didn't want to necessarily put any soda in this guy. I wanted it to be, because typically you would top the soda. If you had any space, you would top it off with some soda. Topo Chico is what we typically use. I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to just do it like this. And since it's gonna be drank quickly, there's really no reason to double strain it or to, on fresh ice. Because again, it's gonna be through a straw. Sweet. Thanks, sir. Put a lime husk on this bad boy. Yeah, it does not need that soda. I mean, it's pretty boozy, oaky. Very happy that I decided to do the half ounce of the pure cane sugar because it is definitely tying everything together. And again, that rigidness on the palate from that sugar is really complementing the wood and oak of the bourbons. And that high proof bourbon is really shining through as well, because the higher the proof in alcohol, the more flavor it's going to have, more profile. And that's absolutely there. It has some definitely citrus from the lime, so that lime is kind of just taming down the bite. It's but the bourbons with that split, it's not as hot as you think it would be, and it's really just oaky. It has a creamy mouthfeel. It's viscous, and it has some nice vanilla going through there as well, and some baking spice. It's wonderful. So here you are, Clover. That's for you. So this is a rendition of the whiskey freezer. Again, if we put it into a taller glass, we would top it off Topo Chico, and that would just open it up even more. So like when you have whiskey, when you drink whiskey neat, the main reason people drink it neat is because they don't want to bastardize the spirit in any way, all the time and effort and all the patience was put into it. So why would you want to put it on ice? That's the main argument. Drink whiskey how you like to drink it. I do like to use more affordable bottles to really incorporate a bunch of ingredients into, because again, like the nicer bottles, you don't necessarily want to add a bunch of things to. But at the same time, if you use like a 100 proof or a 101 bourbon like we just did, it's pretty hot. So you do want to add some dilution to it, even if it's just a splash of water, because what's happening is it's taking away from the alcohol burn, so you're not just experiencing a punch in the face of just that ethanol. It's going to be more, it's going to open up and you're going to really get the nuance of that bottle that you selected to enjoy on your front porch on a hot summer day. So, whiskey freezer, again, did a split. If you can't do a split like that at home, just 2 ounces of whatever bourbon or whiskey you have at home. Go for it. Sweet. Yeah, that's a great one. What do you think?
It's hard to top off your tasting notes.
Oh, yeah.
I know, you hit every mark for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's I was explaining to Clover, like we try our best to make sure that we're not just saying it's good or delicious or anything. We want to make sure that we're like giving you mental notes so you can really imagine the flavors at home, and then when you make yours at home, you'll have the idea of what we expect it to taste like, so you're not straying too far away. But at the same time, always have fun with it. If you want it sweeter, more sugar. If you want it more tart, more citrus. If you want it more boozy, more booze. In that recipe, in that ratio, you can actually replace the booze with anything. Like that ratio with gin and lemon instead of the lime would be a Tom Collins, essentially. So, yeah. So take that ratio and mess around with it. Like, that's a daiquiri ratio in ways. So, and you know how important the daiquiri is to me. So, and then you can always start off with the right way to make a daiquiri, and then from there, mess with your rums, mess with your sugars, mess with your citrus. If you want it drier, more citrus. If not, something else. Screw it. Let's make a daiquiri. I'm talking about daiquiri. It just makes me want a damn daiquiri.
Oh yeah, it's the summertime.
Yeah, dude.
Got a shout out from Anne Marie.
Hey, Anne Marie. Hope you're doing well. Oh, guys, and please, just if you want to keep on seeing us every Friday, please check us out on Venmo. Just my name, and just anything will help. Just tip us as if you would if you were sitting at the bar. It just helps keep this every Friday alive, and keeps us, we're closed. We don't, they shut us back down. So we're just, keeping our chops up, just trying to stay active, trying to keep you guys entertained. So please, anything helps. And again, just the Venmo at Doug Blank. And all of that from the Venmo account goes right into this. Oh, and also another happy hour fueled by Ranch House Spirits. All this product that you see here, it's available over at 202 East Broadway, Coral, Texas, 77954. I want to thank Corey so much for helping us out and helping us, fuel this whole entire process. Without him, it would be pretty arduous. Is arduous a word? Let's say arduous. Or let's say tough. So, for the daiquiri, let's go ahead and use pure cane sugar. We're going to do ½ ounce again. For a traditional, you would use 3/4 ounce. I was going to use ½ ounce. Forgive me. I'm breaking the rules right. I want to show you how traditional daiquiri. So imagine having a 3/4 ounce of, let's just say I was 3/4 ounces of 1-to-1 ratio simple syrup. But it was ½ ounce of pure cane sugar. 1-to-1 ratio. Lime. 3/4 ounces of freshly squeezed lime juice. All right, now for the rum. I love rum. Last week we celebrated World Rum Day, and I hope you guys really took advantage of World Rum Day and drank as much rum as you could last Saturday. But if not, I did it for you, and it was tough. I mean, the next day was tough. Last Saturday was pretty rough. Well, it was pretty rough for me. I woke up and was like, "Where the hell am I?" And I was at home. I walked home apparently, or something, or got home, and I drank a lot of rum. I love rum though, so it's okay. It doesn't. If you love drinking, it's not bad for you. If you love the bottles, you can drink as much as you want, and it's not going to do anything to your body. That is a lie. Please drink responsibly. That is an absolute lie. If you drink a lot of your favorite liquor, even if you love it or not, I love rum so much I almost started crying talking about it last week. But still, try your best not to drink too much rum because it will kill you. It's poison. All this is poison that we love. So speaking of rum, I got some original dark. I have a lot of Jamaican funk rum. Oh, this is cool. This is a Cuban rum, or it's original Cuban formula. Got this at Rancho Spirits. It's a Monticello. It's a Plato. It's going to be, yeah, very simple. It has a little bit more vanilla going on than the Panama Pacific. So yeah, we're doing 1.5 ounces of this. It's beautiful. It's going to make a great daiquiri. My favorite rum to make daiquiris with is Probitas, which we talked about last week, I believe. Man, where's the damn Probitas? Can't believe I didn't grab that. And to give it some that Jamaican funk I was talking about, we'll use my favorite overproof Jamaican white overproof rum, Rum Fire. If you ever see this on a shelf covered in dust, just grab it. Take it home. Woo! Smell that.
Oh, yeah.
Ripe. Ripe. Feels like it's like your body should be telling you don't drink this, but it's not hot. It's not burning with alcohol, but it's 126 proof. But it's not ripping you apart. Like a funky banana. Obviously molasses. A little bit, it's musky. Has a nice mold to it. I always say if you like blue cheese and stuff like that, this doesn't taste like blue cheese, but you would appreciate the profiles of these higher proof rums. And the reason higher proof rums have more flavors is because they extract more. So we're going to do 1/4 ounce of this. Not much. But in the traditional daiquiri, you just do 2 ounces of rum. And the reason we're not filling this up completely to 2 ounces is because it will rip me to shreds. Alright, some shake ice. Again, shake like nobody's watching. So we would dose, if we were like fine dining, I'd double strain to the coupe, but just a less of a mess. Double strain, Hawthorne strainer on top. There's a fine mesh strainer on bottom. Serving it up with no ice because you want to enjoy the viscosity and like the beautiful textures of that emulsified lime and sugar. So this is a little bit shallow because I did cut down the rate portions on the cocktail. Typically it'd be a little bit higher, but I cut the portions down with the sugar and with the rum, so I figured it. So this glass is super important. I have one tattooed in the middle of my finger. These are the daiquiri glasses that we use at the hardwood. If you see these glasses out in the wild, especially the green ones, please grab them and I'll buy them off you. These are like some of the most important glasses that we have at the hardwood. Boom. So let's try this out. So we always heard us referring to chewy. Chewy is like in context to the viscosity and the textures of the drink. This viscosity is coming from the rum. The fattiness, it's fat, it's juicy. It is an absolute rewarding experience. And the sugar is just that pulley that's just tying everything together. That citrus is brightening it up and just allowing those rums to really take control and just give you the best drink on a hot day possible. That funkiness of the rum, that bright banana, is really playing really well with the vanilla that I was speaking of with the white rum. This is a badass daiquiri. Daiquiris are made to be drank quickly. So drink your daiquiris quickly. Anybody out there? Hi everybody, hope you're all doing all right. So, I guess something that I don't know if I've really ever talked to you guys about it, but there is something that I'm very passionate about, and it is something referred to as shochu. Shochu gets confused with something called soju. They're very different. Shochu is made, it's a national distillate of Japan. Shochu is a spirit that comes from Korea. And we use shochu a lot at the Hardwood. I worked for a Japanese company out of Austin for a very long time. Learned so much from them, the Tatsuya family. I am grateful for all the things I've learned. But I learned a lot about shochu. And these are actually from Mizu. Mizu is like one of my favorite brands out there right now. They make wonderful selections of shochu. This is essentially for all generics, and just to give you a general idea, in ways it's essentially making sake and then distilling it. So it's like distilled sake, but that is not true on all aspects of creating shochu. But like the most popular one you will see is barley. Barley shochu is wonderful, well-rounded, tons of earthy notes, and just a really nice. It's a little bit lower in ABV. It's 70 proof, so it's going to actually be less than your typical vodka. So it's a little, you can have a few more. You can stay at your bar a little bit longer, if you will. And then this is their lemongrass, but lemongrass is not. I don't believe lemongrass is actually recognized by the nation of Japan as being a shochu. I think they have 54 or 58 different types of shochu and flavors that are allowed. And I don't believe lemongrass is one of them. I could be wrong, but this is a wonderful, wonderful expression of shochu, and it's bright, super bright, goes really well with tea. But we're going to make one of my drinks that I love dearly with shochu. I do not have any lava salt. Will you do me a favor? Mm-hmm. Okay, if you run up to the bar, if you look down, there's like a weird cabinet door next to the bar station. Open that up. There's a container of black dirt. It's salt. And it comes from lava. I need that. Thank you. I believe I made this before with you guys. It's my cocktail in honor of the godfather of tiki, the creator of all things tiki, Don the Beachcomber. He's known. I made this for y'all on the Tiki Happy Hour. So we're just gonna go over it again. I mean, sometimes I love these drinks so much, and I want you guys to really try them. So I'll definitely be repeating myself more often, or especially since we're getting into like the 20s and stuff. And I'm really excited to tell you guys about next week's episode. I am super pumped about it. But so Don the Beachcomber, he had secret recipes. Like he would go into his bars and it'd be like Don's mix number 1, Don's mix number 2, blah blah blah, all these syrups, and like so that's because he didn't want anybody stealing his recipes. But Beach Bum Barry and Savan Kirsten and a lot of Martin Kate, all these tiki files and really American historians ways. Yes, sir. American historians ways. Thank you, Clover. Went through a tremendous amount of effort to resurrect tiki, and so one of Don Beachcomber's mixes was called Don's Mix Number 1, and it was cinnamon, honey, and grapefruit syrup. So I just love all those ingredients so much that I just stretched it out into more of a cocktail. And so Clover, I actually need you to hand me over that Lewis bag. Okay. Sweet. I'm gonna fill this up. It does need crushed ice. You can just go over to Sonic and get yourself a bag of Pebble Ice, and it'll definitely do the trick. All right. It's called Lewis bag. It is made for making crushed ice. And so when you put that hammer in front of the camera so they can see it, that's the mallet that you get, and you're going to hear them banging it up and crush up the ice over here. Cool. Yeah, doesn't take much. Sweet. Thanks, sir. Appreciate that. All right, so from here, we are going to do a 1-to-1 ratio of honey syrup. So the warm water that we use to make the honey syrup, we steep it with cinnamon sticks. So that's the cinnamon element as well, and it's actually not overpowering whatsoever. If you let the cinnamon sit in there for days, it will definitely take on a tremendous amount of cinnamon, but we don't necessarily want it to be a cinnamon syrup. We want it to be more of a honey syrup that has a little bit of spice to it. So 3/4 ounces of the honey syrup. Then we're going to do a ½ ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, and freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. We're going to do 1.5 ounces. Beautiful. Lime and grapefruit pair together wonderfully. It really helps tame the bitterness down from the grapefruit, but at the same time, it changes the pH to where it's not burning your joints in your jaw to feel like you have TMJ because you took a sip of friggin' fruit juice. Anyways, I think, but I know, not much. Okay, so the shochu, aforementioned shochu, barley. What's that cereal with the frog on it? Sugar Smacks?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Imagine that without sugar, that smell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's barley. 2 ounces of barley shochu. Again, shochu, not shoju, shochu. SHOCHU. Yeah.
Got a shout out from Eric. What's up, Doug?
Hey, Eric. Not much. How are you doing, buddy? All right, gonna take that crushed ice. Thanks to Clover. Get in there. Not all of it. Lock up your tins. I would put this in a rock, and you don't have to do much. It's more of a whip shake, as we do want to dilute this a little bit, because this is the kind of cocktail we don't really want any burn. It's essentially just like a really refreshing drink. Great for the summertime on the poolside, and you just drink a lot of them and not get hammered. So, extra dilution actually goes really well with this, because it tames down the little bit of bite that's already in there. It kind of makes it like non-existent, which is fine. It smells wonderful. That grapefruit has like a weird funk to it as well. Like freshly squeezed juices always have like this weird like funkiness to them, like almost like, I hate to say rot, but like a rot almost. It's like you smell it, it's like is everybody okay in here? Did somebody have a bad long night? It's like no, it's fresh squeezed grapefruit or fresh squeezed lemon. It has like a weird element to it, fartiness in a way. I shouldn't say that. Anyways, pinch of lava salt. Heavy pinch of lava salt. And again, now typically I probably would put this in a rock spot. I mean, no, actually, I like it like this. But a straw, of course. And that is my ode to Don the Beachcomber, the Don's Mix. This candle's still going. I think this might be your last day, bud. You got to find another candle to replace you with. But I appreciate you. You burn bright into all of our hearts, minds, and souls. To you, candle. Yep. I can feel the bees swarming in my mouth. Bright. Like the citrus is it's pleasant, and that barley that's just a great drink, man. It is lush, not too sweet, and it has that saltiness running through there. So if you're a fan of Paloma, boom, this is a great cocktail for you. If you're a fan of grapefruit in general, this is nice. It's not soup. I put 1.5 ounces of grapefruit in there, but honestly, with that dilution and all that booze in there that you can barely even taste, you can't taste the burn from the booze, but you can taste that barley exploding out of this drink. Barley has an earthy element to it. It has a lot of depth, has a tremendous amount of character. It's something that I have not really practiced describing, so forgive me if you're not sensing the flavors. But that lime and that grapefruit and that honey, we all know what those taste like. And they are pleasant, they are well-rounded, and it is not robust. It's not punching you in the face. It's kind of like, I would rather have this than a White Claw any day. And again, this is definitely stronger than a seltzer, hard seltzer. And I drink a lot of hard seltzer. I think everybody knows that. I love my hard seltzer. But this is, I think that this is, of all the drinks that we're going to make, this is the best summer drink that I've came up with. Probably should have saved it for last with all that, with all the love that I'm giving this. But I'm really excited about the next drink that we're making as well. Clover, you're probably going to be more excited because it's going over to you. And I need another one of these. Forgot. I thought I was going to put this in a different glass. So guys, again, thank y'all so much. Please go over to my YouTube channel. I uploaded a new video called From the Depths. It's a cocktail that I created. It's my run version of a rum and coke, not a Cuba Libre, version of a rum and coke. Something really simple, summer forward, easy to make. The ingredients are versatile. You can change it up if you'd like, but it's a really great expression of a cocktail that I think, especially this part of Texas, would thoroughly enjoy. So please go over to, just search Doug Blank on YouTube, check it out. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button, if you will, so you know when I'm uploading videos. And of course, you can find all of our happy hours uploaded on my YouTube channel as well. Thank you, sir. So this next drink is just full of cocktail history. Let me put this over on the table. Thanks, sir. Just full of history, and it is a proper classic, and it is called a Suffering Bastard. The Suffering Bastard was created at the Shepherd's Hotel in Cairo during World War II by a man named Joe Shalom. Joe Shalom was the head bartender there, and that's where the American troops would stay when they were fighting Desert Fox, Rommel, the Nazis in the desert. Like when you watch Home Alone 3, when you watch Home Alone 3 and all the Nazis come out and try to get Kevin McAllister. No, when the Nazis were fighting the American troops in Egypt, like when you watch Indiana Jones 3, like that whole entire visual, that's what I think of when I have a Suffering Bastard. Like, you know, like freaking, or even like James Bond in Morocco or something like that. Granted, that's not Egypt, but still, it's North Africa. So, deserts. So Joe Shalom made this drink, and he made it for the American troops. He wanted to have the American troops. He loved them. He loved the American troops, and the American troops loved Joe Shalom. They loved him. So he just made him a bunch of Suffering Bastards, and we're going to go over the whole entire recipe. And the reason he did that is because he wanted to have something for the troops that they could talk about and just say and joke about the name and just be Suffering Bastards while they enjoy their Suffering Bastard. And there's a few ingredients in here that you would never think are classic ingredients. Ginger beer is one of the main components here. I didn't even drink ginger beer until about 10 years ago. I figured that was a new thing. I had no idea until 10 years ago when I was drinking it. Somebody was like, I haven't seen ginger beer, or my grandparents just talked about ginger beer, and I finally had it. I'm like, your grandparents? Like, that's like a new thing. No, ginger beer has been around for ages, and ginger beer is something that people have just forgotten about. And ginger ale and ginger beer are two totally different things. Ginger beer has a tremendous amount of spice, a tremendous amount of effervescence, and all the carbonations comes from a fermentation process. We are actually doing gingers, beers, and pineapple sodas at the Hardwood right now that we're practicing with, so we can start having our own on stock and be able to eventually give to y'all someday. Where was I?
Suffering Bastard.
Suffering Bastard is a really good drink. I'll take that from you, sir. Thank you. This is a really fun drink. There's a couple. It's a lot of different ingredients. I'm just gonna, for the sake of the size of the glass, we're going to change the ratio a little bit. But I am gonna do a video on the Suffering Bastard and add it to our YouTube channel probably in the next couple of weeks. So my favorite ingredients to use for this is going to be Brandy St. Louis. And we all know how much I love Brandy St. Louis. It's an amazing product. It's owned and operated, full women's team, amazing people. Jen, that owns Brandy St. Louis, is amazing. Laura, who is helping her run the show now, there's just amazing women making an amazing product based out of Texas. But all the barrels of this are relative to the region of Cognac. It's just they're It's a great blend, and it is affordable and a wonderful, wonderful bottle to have in any home back bar, any bar, especially since brandy is definitely has a really it's on the uptick. Brandy is going to be it's the next big thing, and I am so proud to have this on my back bar and to celebrate Brandy St. Louis and pass it over to you guys. So, Brandy St. Louis is crucial. Brandy is cognac. Maybe if you have cognac at home that you're trying to blast through, this is a great way to use it. And then, of course, for a Southern Bastard, the other component is going to be gin. We're going to use Drumshambo. Gunpowder Irish gin has a tremendous amount of botanicals. It has some Asian botanicals in there. It's really nice. So, it has gunpowder tea is one of the main botanicals, and it just has this nice depth and zesty and spicy in a way, but not spicy like hot. So we're going to go ahead and start building this bad boy. I'm going to stop rambling. We're going to use our pure cane sugar. Some recipes would probably call for Demerara, but we're going to use pure cane sugar. We're going to do a 1/4 ounce. You know what? Don't get me going. All right, I'm already knowing, like, wow, I could add this to it. All right, and then we're going to use our fresh squeezed lime juice. We're going to do 1/2 ounce. And we are going to do 1 ounce of brandy. And we shall do 1 ounce of the gin. Woo. Something really fun about this, if we stopped right here, this, like the daiquiri, and this drink where it is right now, and I guess even the Don's Mix, those will all probably fall in the category of sour because you use citrus. So yeah, it's really weird to think about that when you think about sours. Like sour is not like a whiskey sour. Sour is a complete category. I'm like staring right at Clover. I need somebody to talk to. And he's just like, okay, yeah, all right.
I'm here for support.
Indeed. Yeah, that's a good drink. Okay, so crushed ice would probably be a good idea for this. There's some more crushed ice. So yeah, this is a classic drink. Tremendous amount of history. Yeah, keep going. You're going to be a little bit more fine than that last batch. Forgive me, I haven't talked about Brandy St. Louis in so many weeks that my script is kind of just dissolved, and I apologize. Please check out Brandy St. Louis. Fruit forward, has a tremendous amount of that oakiness that you get from cognac and our brandies for that much for the most part. It's like real, like again, fruit forward, and it just plays really well with any cocktails. We're actually going to make another drink with this today as well. Thank you, sir. Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can show them what. So yeah, can you see that shot? Can you see in there?
Hand's kind of in the way. There we go.
Can you see the ice?
Just
yeah.
barely.
Damn.
Yeah, cool. It's white on white.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Translucent on
Why am I just? Yeah. So it just turns it into crushed ice. Like, why am I showing? My bad. Can you see it in the bag? Nice. Good job. All right, and we incorporate all those together. Just start do a whip shake. Nice and cold. So from here, we're going to take the ice, rest the ice, and get some in the bag, and excuse me, in the glass. It's actually almost more like snow ice, you know. So we are going to Hawthorne strain this. We're not going to double strain it. We just don't want we want to make sure we have some room for the ginger beer. So if we dumped all the ice in there, it would take all the rest of the space up. And then we will add a little bit of ice from there. But we just want a little bit of headroom to add a little bit of ginger beer. A lot of these old school recipes could ask for like 4 ounces of ginger beer. I love these ingredients so much that are all incorporated in here, especially the brandy and the gin is really pretty as well, that we are only going to do just top it off with some ginger beer. And, you know, if you really like ginger beer, I'd probably just hand this bottle over to you with your drink. No big deal. But, yeah, so this is, again, just a rendition. Nothing, it's not going to be what you would get at any bar. Everybody's recipes change so much. I mean, if I put it into a taller, I really like ginger beer, I would probably put it into a Collins glass or 16-ounce glasses and then top it completely off. But again, I like booze, and I like these flavors. I like the complexities. I love these splits. Like that gin and that brandy are just going to play with each other so well, and there's going to be a tremendous amount of botanical, some oakiness, and that sweetness that's going to tie it all together that I always refer to. Just keep that freaking chainsaw effect going. Just never stopping. Just keeps on cutting through. Keeps on creating. Keeps on just building. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and put a couple of dashes of Angostura. And we would put a big sprig of mint. I checked my mint collection earlier, and it's no longer a mint collection. It is a compost. So forgive me on that as well. And this, ladies and gentlemen, holy crap. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing. Dude, that's perfect. This is how you should have a suffering bastard. Go for it. To Joe Shalom.
To Joe.
And the soldiers of World War II. My grandpa's in World War II. I love my grandpa. I still do. I mean, he's gone, but I love him. I love him. My grandpa drank scotch. That was his thing. He drank a lot of scotch. Born and raised in the Bronx. Yeah. Family's from New York. Pretty weird. Yeah, my grandpa, born and raised in the Bronx, came down to Texas and brought his family in the 70s. I don't know if you'd ever, I mean, it's weird. Like, that's like some things that I think about that I guess I don't really think about too much, obviously, but like my grandpa's like, I never asked, I mean, I knew he drank scotch, but I wonder if I put that, if I were to be like, hey, here's a Suffering Ambassador, I wonder if you would relate, if you would know. That's some things just gotta daydream about. I'd like to think he would. And I'd like to think that he would love that. Suffering. How is it, by the way?
Well, this is definitely what I would be drinking if I was in war. For sure.
Indeed. Right?
Oh, yeah. This would be my oasis.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Perfect for like the hot theme. You know what I mean? It's like a Suffering Bastard is perfect for the summertime. Perfect.
Well, I always find the botanicals in gin to be super refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I love gin drinks during weather like this.
You know, and like a lot of people would think that I would want to make like a martini or something. Martinis are tough to drink. And I don't mean that like I don't like martinis. As a matter of fact, quite the contrary. I love martinis, but you have to drink them quickly. But you drink them quickly in a proper environment, dim lit. You know what I mean? Like class. I don't know. There's a je ne sais quoi to it. You know, I don't know how to put my finger on it. And so, but the thing is, the next drink I'm going to make is actually a brand new drink, and I'm going to make y'all a classic sidecar. And the reason we're going to make a sidecar, it is a neat drink, kind of served up, but the thing is, it has citrus in it, so it actually goes down quickly. So it is great for the summertime, especially if you're looking to get your freaking party on. So go ahead and get this Brandy St. Louis back out. Shakers. All right, so for this, we're going to go ahead and use pure cane sugar. This is a very old recipe. I've heard so many renditions and so many people that take this drink so seriously, which I completely appreciate. But I've also heard people that just don't like the sidecar, and to me, it kind of blows my mind because if you're a bourbon fan or a whiskey fan, you're definitely going to be a cognac or brandy fan. It's just essentially the processes are so relatable. The only difference is one's a grain and one's a juice. This is all made from wine, and I think that wine, in my personal opinion, provides a tremendous amount of flavor, and it's a little more complex. I think that grain-forward spirits are quite relatable in that sense. You know what I mean? So it's like, like a whiskey. You can put 5 bourbons in front of somebody, and they're gonna know each one's bourbon, and they might be able to pick apart, this bourbon is definitely different than this bourbon. This bourbon is different than this bourbon. But you got to practice really hard. But I feel like with cognacs and brandies, it's a little bit more obvious. So it's just something that a lot of people don't know it. Before Americans drank bourbon, before bourbon was even bourbon and whiskey, American whiskeys started coming out of necessity because of cognac shortage. All these classic drinks, from the old fashioned to the Sazerac and even to the French 75, were all made with brandy. And so when brandy shortage happened, it had to do with a lot of it had to do with the fungus maybe that killed a bunch of vines back in the early turn of the century in the 1900s. Do not quote me on that. Morgan from Gulf Breeze knows a lot about that, and obviously Jen from Brandy St. Louis does as well. So go check out both of them whenever you can, and they'll happily tell you more about this without me messing it up. But anyways, classic recipes call for brandy and rums. You didn't really see bourbon or whiskey until late 1800s, at the turn of the century. And not that it wasn't there, it's just it wasn't as important. And then they just just pushed brandy and cognac to the side so they can start creating in the Western world. Well, in the Western world, since on this side of the pond. So anyways, as I digress, 1/2 ounce pure cane sugar. If you're using white sugar, I would do 3/4 ounce. And then we're going to do freshly squeezed lemon juice. And we are going to do 3/4 ounces. So this is where it gets pretty cool. A little bit more dynamics when it compared to the other cocktails. We're going to use a orange liqueur. We're going to use dry curacao, hails from the island of Curacao, which is a Dutch island in the Caribbean. Orange liqueur has that orange. It has like something like for all generics, an orange starburst. The way it would taste, but take all the sweetness off the nose. I mean, there's definitely sweetness there, but this is going to be drier in a sense. It's going to have that. It's going to have that drying effect on your palate, feeling like you maybe mix a little bit of salt into your sugar, maybe a touch of sand blended in there, So we're going to do 1/4 ounce, not much. Just help permeate. And then 1.5 ounces for Brandy St. Louis. 1.5 ounces. I think that's what I said. Will you get me the chilled coupe? Thanks, sir. Let's put it right here. A lot of shaken drinks for the summertime because you just want to make sure everything's combined properly and chilled properly. So do about 8 seconds. And it'll tell you when it's ready. It'll start hissing at you. Double strain. Pour into your chilled coupe. Boom! Look at that wash line. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to do a swath of orange. And we're going to do a swath of lemon. We'll go ahead and do the orange first. 6 inches up, 3 inches back. Reason being, bitter oils are going to fall away. Sweeter oil is going to spray forward over to your glass. We want to control this cocktail as much as possible. And there's actually a lot of bitterness that comes from the orange curacao. We're just going to help that get on there. Discard. Same with the lemon. 6 inches up, 3 inches back. You might not be able to see the oil spraying out on camera, but they are there. And when you do this at home, it will just be everywhere. Like this swath will brighten up an entire room. So excited about this sidecar. So, ladies and gentlemen, a sidecar. How much straw taste that? Orange dreamsicle. Like the finest orange dreamsicle I could ever ask for. It's like, dude, like honestly, you can even take the sugar down and do that whole entire build with the citrus and everything and put like a 1/4 ounce scoop of sherbet in there. And that'd be freaking badass. That'd be knee deep, baby. Yeah, so this is something I highly recommend. That's a beautiful drink. Complex. Viscous, juicy, fatty. That splash of dried curacao just permeates that brandy, the oakiness, the juiciness of the brandy. The fruit is just so, it's just bouncing all over the tongue. Yeah. It could maybe use a little bit of orange bitters. See what happens.
We got a cheers from Corey.
Cheers, Corey. Corey Tom from Ranch House Spirits. Cheers. And again, you can find you can get any of this selection at Ranch House Spirits. 202 East Broadway, Coral, Texas 77954. Every virtual happy hour is fueled by them, and again, without their help, it would not be as a pronounced an experience as we provide. Thanks for watching, and we're gonna keep on going. All right, we got one more drink left in us. One more summertime drink. I got pineapple juice, and it's a beautiful pineapple juice. Drink your drinks quickly. And I have this mug. So I want to do something with whiskey and pineapple. So I think we're going to do a... forgive me.
Some improv, maybe?
No, I mean, I was going to do like a Golden Idol, one of my drinks, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a drink. I haven't tried this before, but I know it will work. Maybe let's call this one like the Golden Monkey or something. Man, dude, you know what I want to watch? I want to like rewatch all of Legends of the Hidden Temple. You know, like remade that show for like new generations. Do you even know what it is?
I'm 23, probably not.
Oh my god. I mean, I hope it's okay to want to rewatch that show. You get in trouble for liking things now. Forgive me. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But anyways, oh yeah, my podcast has a new episode. Probably piss everybody off, but let's check it out. I didn't see it, but I believe you. Available on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Yeah, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Just living life just like the rest of y'all. So, orgeat, essentially an almond milk syrup. And I was like learning about how like there's a milk lobbyist, like the ones that like do like the milk campaigns and the milk mustache and they got milk. Like we're like going after like the almond milk industry because they're like you can't call it milk because it didn't come from the teat of a mammal. It's like so almond water juice. I don't know. Maybe the water.
Otherwise, we're not supposed to consume mammal milk anyway after a certain age.
Oh boy, that's freaking controversial. Oh, you want to eat clover? No, it's fine. So anyways, almond milk syrup essentially is what orgeat is. Orgeat is a classic recipe, and we make our own almond milk. But if we can't make our own almond milk, we'll get almond milk and then we'll steep it with some toasted nuts, some cashews, and almonds. And that's a really great way to do it at home. Because that way you don't have to. A lot of these places will, which is really contradictory because they'll be like, never use extracts, never do this, never do that, and then like you're like reading the recipe book and they're like, wait a minute, this calls for extract. And a lot of orgeats call for extract. And I feel that if you're going to honor not using extract, you should not use extract for your orgeat. So if you get some almond milk, try to get quality almond milk. Try to get fresh almond milk. Again, maybe if you have the time and you have, it's expensive, but I mean, maybe make your own almond milk. But if you can't, get some almond milk. Instead of adding extracts to it, which you obviously can, whatever, try just getting some almond slivers, blanched almond slivers, maybe a cheap pack of cashews, unsalted, and toasting them in the oven or in a pan real quick, and then putting them into your almond milk, let them sit overnight, and then when you try your almond milk, because if you make almond milk, or if you make orgeat with just almond milk, it's just going to taste like sweet. It doesn't have that nuttiness you're looking for. But if you do it that way, it'll be robust. It'll be well-rounded. It'll be that nuttiness, that funkiness you get from nuts. A lot of orgeats call for, in ours as well, for rose water and orange blossom water. And the reason you add those waters is because nuts are funky. And it's something you never really think about. But like freshly squeezed citrus and toasted nuts and things like that, when you start activating them with water and stuff, they get really strange. So that's why you do that. But anyways, as I digress, that smells so good. We're going to do a quarter ounce. Did I already put it in there? Quarter ounce of orgeat. Yeah. We're going to do a half ounce of lemon, freshly squeezed lemon. And then our house pressed pineapple juice. Thank you, Clover.
Don't mention it.
It just makes the world of difference.
A little thick.
Yeah, I mean, it's just emulsified.
27 C's.
How many?
27 C's. Just random number. Extra thick.
Ounce and a half. Yeah, it's thick. Sounds you can hear it. Quite viscous. I don't know why I wanted to do that. Anyways, what did I say we're gonna use? Bourbon. Choose Old Bardstown. Available at Ranch House Spirits. 2 ounces. Yeah, that's gonna be good. I did a event. I was a bartender at an event for Basil Hayden, and they came out with their rum oaked, their rum barrels. They took their Basil Hayden and they finished them off in used rum barrels, and it was badass. And we did a Mai Tai. Like I didn't come with the recipe. But the Mai Tai that Michael came up with was fantastic. It was essentially a Mai Tai build with this cask finished, this rum cask finished Basil Hayden, and it was on point. So maybe that's where I'm like ripping this inspiration from. But choose some crushed ice. Some shake ice. Here, while I'm shaking this up, will you beat up some crushed ice for me?
Sure will.
That
Use
much.
that candle as our timer.
I know. Oh my god. Good shake. Get that pineapple all emulsified. Keep it going. Sweet. Thank you, sir. Right into the mug. Top this bad boy off with crushed ice that Clover just did for us. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. You know what? It doesn't even have to go garnish heavy. It just needs some nutmeg. Frick! Imagine with nutmeg, y'all. Dude, that's awesome. Alright, so let's... Alright. Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Do I need to bend down? Alright. That's badass. Dude, seriously, and like the barrel mug is like makes it, cause it tastes like you're drinking out of a barrel because of that bourbon. It just like obviously woody vanilla from the bourbon. So a little bit of baking spice running through, but that freaking pineapple, and that pineapple is pretty ripe. So it's just like super, it's like bold and it's tart, but that sweetness is just doing all of the work in the best of ways. I'm happy the lemon juice is in there because it just amps up the pH. And then nutmeg would be really nice on that. And that orgeat, there's just a milkiness running through it. And the pineapple and the orgeat are just like match made in heaven. There's just running through the whole entire thing. There's just a nuttiness, a creaminess, chewiness, and again, just a woody note to it. You know, it's just, I am digging this. And that was, man, right here on Virtual Happy Hour with you guys.
Corey said 2, please.
Indeed. Come on by. I'll make you one. Well, all right, guys. Well, we'll call this one the Golden Barrel, maybe? I don't know. We'll come up with a name for it. Put in the link below. Put in the descriptions what you think we should name this. It's based off of when we do it with pineapple rum and a pineapple amaro. We call it the Golden Idol. But this is just with replaced it with a beautiful bourbon. Golden something. Have at it. Tell me in the comments. Well, that said, we're past an hour. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Please help us keep this alive by donating to our Venmo. Just look up Doug Blank and to keep this going. And this is, again, fueled by Ranch House Spirits. Without them, this would not be possible. And I love you guys. And thank you again for tuning in. And next week, I'm super excited to say that we are going to be celebrating sake. And those that know me understand how much I love sake, and I cannot wait to pull some of my collection out to talk to you about it and just give you a general idea of what sake is and how to approach it and how to just make the right selection for yourself and in any application. Let's take it step by step. So anyways, with that said, happy Friday, y'all. Enjoy this nice weather. Enjoy the thunderclouds. I miss you. I love you. Cheers.